The content, views, and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the producer and do not necessarily reflect the view and opinions of the City of Bremerton, BCAT, their officials, or their employees.
Welcome and hello everyone. Welcome to Real Talk with DMJ. Today I'm glad to have Andrea Bryant on the show with me today. And we're going to be talking about some real serious issues that she's having and dealing with. Andrea, I want to say welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I wanted to have you on the show today to talk about your eviction with Housing Kitsap.
Yes.
And then I want to talk about your brain surgery and the whole eviction process. And then you find in Hope 360 and Kitsap Community Resource decided they were going to go ahead and pay your back rent. I want to start from the beginning, how all this started and how Housing Kitsap is refusing to take the fundings from a credible resource. And they have always taken funding from KCR, Kitsap Community Resource, all the time. But in your case, they're refusing to take the funding and decided to go ahead and move forward with the eviction process. Yes. Go ahead and share with the audience, how did this all start? I know I've been on your case and been your case manager through Hope 360, and that from what I gathered from the case working on it, that it started out, I looked at your ledger, how you started out good, and that you had you were receiving over $2,000 a month in child support, and then all of a sudden after you got into your place, besides your Social Security because of your disability, and then your rent is $1,390 a month. You didn't think I remember? Girl, I've studied your case. I've missed sleep over your case. So I saw your ledger. I saw your promissory letter, Kitsap Community Resource, Allie Moyer. She paid your moving costs, your deposit. I saw that. And then the incredible thing happened, that not incredible, the horrible thing happened that you lost the next following month your child support, which was $2,000.
Yeah.
Seemed like the children's father lost his job.
Yeah, the company went under.
Yeah, went under after he had been with them for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was a significant blow to your financial income. I saw documentation in your file that you had immediately contacted Housing Kitsap.
Correct.
Which was, what is his name again?
Robert Wilson.
Yeah, Robert Wilson?
Yep.
Robert Wilson, the manager over Park Place Apartments. And so you contacted him, I saw. They instructed you, he did, for you to do a change of circumstances. Yep. And you did that right away because your Social Security is only $1,043?
Correct.
A month. I remember it. Yes, I'm in your case. And so it's only $1,043 a month. So it was no way that you could continue to pay the $1,390 a month and then still feed your 3 children.
Yeah.
And then, matter of fact, you had a young one then.
Oh, yeah.
Still have a young one. 23 months now as of today, but back then was just barely over a year old.
Correct.
And so dealing with that, and then so you went ahead,
I contacted Robert Wilson.
Robert Wilson.
Did the change of circumstances for him, like he told me to do.
Now, hold on. My audience needs to know, when you do the change of circumstances, you were reporting your income had changed.
Correct.
It had decreased. And you were letting them know that you weren't going to be able to pay that $1,390 anymore, correct?
Correct.
Yes, because you're only living off of a four people household off of $1,043 a month when your rent is $1,390. So you informed them in a timely manner. It seems like you informed them right as soon as it happened because you were in shock.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yes. I mean, you finally get a house. You're not homeless. you're not, struggling. You're not in jeopardy of being homeless and everything. You got a house, a
Exactly.
home, something of your own and the children. So you didn't want to lose that. So you followed the rules. You did the change of circumstances. What happened when you did the change of circumstances, as Robert Wilson told you?
So I did the change of circumstances for him. And then he informed me that it was irrelevant pretty much because the program I was put on when I got into the housing place stated that my rent would not fluctuate with my income, which was what I was under the impression I was signing when I originally signed the lease, because that's what I had thought I was doing. After I found out that it was the wrong program that I had signed originally to get in there, I tried to correct it. And they told me I couldn't correct it until my lease was over, and I still had to pay the $13.90 a month, even though I didn't even have that coming in.
They told you you had to continue to pay the $13.90 until your lease was up. Now tell us, when was your lease supposed to be up?
My lease is still going currently. I don't actually even know off the top of my head when my lease ends right now because I cannot think that well.
Due to the brain surgery, and we're going to get
Exactly.
into that. I just want to make sure I take my audience step by step because I want to share this with HUD.
I want to say it's a year lease, and if I'm correct, which I might not be, but I want to say I signed it last April, so it'll probably be up this April, but I'm not 100% positive right now.
Okay, and then it was April because your promissory letter that KCR had given Park Place, it was from April.
Then yes.
Yes, it's from April. And then May is when the big change came, and then your nightmare began.
Oh, yeah.
With Housing Kitsap, definitely. So, okay, he told you were on the wrong program.
Yep.
That the program you're on, the change of circumstances wasn't validated.
Exactly.
It wasn't validated. When you went and reported, why didn't he know that from the beginning? Did he bother to pull your file, to review your file, to know that he was directing you on the wrong way?
I have no clue. He was the original person that I signed the paperwork with
And
for
you're
the
talking
lease.
about Robert who?
Robert Wilson.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When I went in and signed the lease, I had asked him to confirm that that was the right program that I was putting on, that my rent would fluctuate with my income. And he said, yes, it was. And I signed everything for it. And then when he told me to do the change of circumstances form because my income had dropped drastically.
Now, where did you get the change of circumstance form from?
He actually gave it to me.
Oh, so Robert gave it to you. And then after you followed what he said and filled it out, then he told you it wasn't validated, it wasn't good because you're on the wrong program.
Exactly.
And so what happened after that?
I tried to address it and get put on the correct program. Then they told me that I couldn't until the lease was up. So I was battling with trying to figure out what to do and everything else. And then I had been informed that their wait list got opened for a 3 or 4 bedroom with the correct program. I went in and I did everything they needed me to do. And then I hit having the brain surgery. So I wasn't...
Okay, hold up. Before you had the brain surgery, you filled out the paperwork. Mm-hmm. Okay, because we want to really get everybody to get a full understanding what happened here. So they did open up.
Yes.
And I believe it was for their 3 and 4 bedrooms.
Correct.
Correct. And that's what you needed.
Yes.
Okay. Did Robert Wilson tell you to go ahead and apply for that program?
No, actually it was my son's KCR worker that told me the wait list was even opened.
So you go and apply for that.
Yep.
Correct. Did you share with Robert that you had applied for that so that they could go ahead and change you over?
I did, and he said, okay, and I did the paperwork. He didn't really say anything much after that about me transferring to the other one. And then once, he said basically just to keep him updated because apparently the 2 people don't talk together, which makes no sense to me.
In other words, saying, so the communication
Exactly.
is very faulty.
Yeah.
Within the Kitsap housing.
Yep.
Because obviously we wouldn't be here today. You know what I'm saying? If they were communicating and he was saying, I have a client in this position, can we switch her over?
Yep. Exactly.
Yes. And so you filled out that paperwork. Thank God your KCR
was
caseworker,
happy.
yeah, for your son shared that information. But you fell through the cracks at Housing Kitsap because they have poor communications within
Exactly.
the department,
Yeah.
within the organization. Okay, so you go ahead and fill it out. And I believe that was in August, September, because that's when it opened around that time.
Yeah.
Yes, because I had several individuals that I was taking over there and trying to meet with the executive director, but you can't get to her because she's just like the president of the United States.
Exactly.
I even tried to talk to her in the lobby, very professional, and she was too good to talk to.
Yep.
Yes, they've been very difficult to work with and to help their clients and to keeping up with their properties. And you filled out the application. You talked to Robert Wilson, which is the manager, and who works for Housing Kitsap, and he manages Park Place.
Yep.
We're talking to him, and you told him that he was supposed to go ahead and get with his people that run the other program to see if we can get you transitioned over.
Exactly.
To prevent you from becoming homeless and to get out of this financial burden of your rent and to be able to keep a household. So that did not happen.
No way.
You fell through the cracks. And so now, all of a sudden, you're still behind on your rent.
Correct.
You're notifying him, what am I supposed to do here? I have a 1-year-old. I have then a 9-year-old, at that time a 14-year-old, before they had their birthdays. I've been reviewing your case now. And what am I supposed to do? I'm stressed out, I'm ill. Then boom, you find out you have to have brain surgery.
Correct.
November of 2025. Now all this is happening from April of 2025 all to May, their drastic financial need change. And then you're communicating, doing everything Robert Wilson is telling you.
Yep.
And then a fix came to go ahead and fix your situation. And Housing Kitsap dropped the ball on that. So then that was August, September when they had opened during that time. And forgive me if I have the wrong months, but let's say allegedly during around that time. So then now November comes, you find out you have to have brain surgery.
So I actually, what wound up happening was I did the paper. It was in August because I was scheduled to actually have brain surgery in August.
Okay. Thanks for correcting me.
It was a little bit earlier, but I was scheduled to have it in the end of August. And I had did the paperwork and everything. I had tried to push and push and push before the surgery to get everything, in order and taken care of because it's a surgery. So it actually wound up getting rescheduled for early September because the doctor had to leave. He had a more emergency situation. So on September 11th, I went in. I had the brain surgery. And then I got released on the 14th. But then I wound up being right back in the hospital on the 16th.
Now we're talking about what month did this happen again?
September.
Okay, September you had the brain surgery.
Yeah.
Okay, because I put on the document November, but we'll get to November if I can clarify that.
So in September, I had the brain surgery, and then I wound up going back into the hospital a day after I was released.
Okay.
Because my brain contracted an infection. And then I was stuck in the hospital until October.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And then I was able to be released. But I had what I called live wires in my arms because I had to have IV injections daily, twice. And unfortunately, my medical wouldn't clear me to go to a facility to get it done. So I had to go home and do it myself, which being with myself or by myself with 3 kids, it actually fell a lot on my teenager to help inject me, which is kind of hard for a teenager to do. And to see, he's doing it to his mom. So it's a little difficult.
Because he's 14 at the time.
Yeah.
And he's not 15 yet. Yes.
No.
And he's a young man, a boy.
Oh, yeah. He has actually had to call paramedics for me. He's had to watch his siblings numerous times. He's had to cook them food, the whole 9 yards.
He had to step up and be the parent because you weren't functional.
Exactly.
Now, during this time, before, did you notify Robert Wilson? at Park Place Apartments, employee of Kitsap Housing, that this surgery was coming?
I did. And I had informed him because the whole time I was in the hospital, someone else was going to be in charge of paying the bills and taking care of the kids and the apartment, because obviously I can't do that from a hospital bed. So he told me, okay, as long as it's taken care of, it doesn't, I'm okay with it.
Okay, but during this time, you're still struggling because you're living off of $1,043, and then your rent is $19.
It's $1,390.
Yeah, $1,390. Excuse me. During that time, did Robert tell you when you asked and you were stressed out, worried to pay, you got brain surgery coming, you can't pay your rent, you're on a fixed income, you have 3 little ones, you're finna be incapacitated to function at your normal selves because of the illness and the serious surgery of the brain, So what did he tell you to do when you told him you were having this surgery coming? And what am I supposed to do? Did he tell you to pay a certain amount? Did he tell you just do the best you can? What did he inform or instruct you to do about financially covering your rent?
So he told me that the minimum amount I could pay was $100 to erase the eviction and make them force it for another 30 days. So that had been what I had been doing. But while I was in, there was no one able to pay any rent. They wouldn't accept it from anyone from me or for me on my behalf because of some documents or something. I don't know exactly. I don't understand why they wouldn't accept it.
It has to be a release of information. Probably if they would have mailed it in, they would accept it, them going in to pay it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was in charge of taking all 3 of my kids. It was not planned. It was not set in stone. It was not, I was supposed to be released. It was supposed to be a simple, easy surgery, and then I was supposed to be able to come home. But because it contracted the infection, I wound up being longer in the hospital. And she wound up having to take off on her job to take care of my 3 kids.
And we're speaking of your caretaker that was taking care of your children under. Yes. Okay.
And that was even a big issue because it was actually my mother who had taken them all on. But we had to file legal documentation because my husband could fight and take all of them. And he is not in our lives. He does not need to be, and that's that.
Okay.
So my mom wound up taking all of them, and she was working for the military. She was doing 2 separate jobs, so she had to take I can't think of what it's called, but it's medical leave to take care of a family member.
Yes.
So she took that, and then she was taking care of all 3 of my kids, and then there was a package that was delivered in my mailbox, which she was also, in charge of taking my mail.
Yes.
So she got the package, and it was actually from Housing Kitsap, saying that we had gotten accepted into the 3 or 4 bedroom. And then that's when it started to get even more a little shifty because she brought it to the hospital to me when she brought my kids to see me one time. And they said there was a deadline for it to be turned in. And they needed all the extra information, like the kids' socials, their birth certificates, all that good fun stuff. I told her where it was because I didn't know when I was going to be released. She was unable to do it.
So let's hold up. So, in other words, you did get accepted into the program.
I did.
But during the time you're in the hospital, you have brain surgery, you know what I'm saying? Well, you're back in the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got a brain infection. And so you're back in there. The packet has a deadline. And so during that time, you did inform them from the hospital that I'm in the hospital. I can't get this back to you. An older woman taking care of a little one and a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old. And by her being an older woman, your mother, the caretaker, that's an adjustment within itself. Taking time off from your job, being a mother, at 50-something years old again. I mean, that's a task.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is at that age. I'm 67, finna be 68, so I know. You know what I'm saying?
I give my mom props.
Yes, I couldn't see me taking on motherhood again at that, but that young. So that was a difficult time. So she couldn't handle that for you. So you informed them if you can get some grace, of
Yes.
turning that in. And that where you were, they didn't consider you were in the hospital and had brain surgery?
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to cut this right here and we're going to come back. I want the audience to know, because you have to hear what happened here, and it's happening to many, especially when we come back and talk about getting legal help and how the legal help has failed this family and this young mother. Stay tuned. Real Talk with DMJ.